No, because so when the Lord speaks to you, you can misinterpret it. So when
So
you're
how
reading
do
the
you know
Bible,
what's misinterpreted and what
the
isn't?
Lord is technically speaking to you when you're reading the
What?
Bible.
How do you know
It
what
doesn't.
is misinterpreted and what isn't? Please.
Well, it. This is gonna. You're gonna hate this because you're all
It's
about.
faith-based?
Well, pretty much. It's a little bit of both. It's
So
like
you're just going off what you're
95%.
feeling then?
Well, I mean, it's a feeling that's above all others. Like you
Wait, hold on.
know.
So you're
Yeah.
literally just straight up acknowledging then yes, you read through the Bible and you pick and choose which verses you want to believe actually came from God based on how your tummy feels. That is delusional. That's like
Oh my
irrational.
gosh!
You
No, no,
realize me
no, no,
calling
you
you wait.
misinterpreted what I
Me
said.
calling you dumb beforehand was like being generous. So what's up? You said I'm doing harm with my channel.
Yeah. Well, you know how you're talking about like you like to watch horror movies?
Yeah.
I'm listening to horror right now because you're telling people to be weak.
Okay, how am I telling people to be weak?
Well, I don't know, man. Like the antidepressant thing, man. You gotta. I feel like you just gotta like run and like lift weights and stuff.
All right, you're definitely here to just troll.
What do you mean?
This
I'm being freaking serious. I mean, you can look at fucking like David Goggins and all these other guys. I'm not talking about like Liver King, obviously, but like like you gotta. I feel like for a lot of men at least, it's good to break through the barriers instead of just taking medication. I don't know, like maybe
Could it be
medication can.
both? Do you think you could do both? Like, hey, it's good to exercise and be in good shape,
I don't know,
and then
man. I
also if
feel
like
like
you have a hold on, and also if you have a literal clinical issue with your brain, taking medication might also help.
no, I just think that a lot of people are lying. I think that I don't know, mostly I'm not trying to I don't really like to get political, but seems like mostly it's the left that's just, peddling this idea that, you need to be high on antidepressants all day in order to, be happy. And I
Well,
think that's
I think that a
false.
lot of that is it sounds like somebody was lying to you because you're not high on antidepressants at all. You still feel emotions, or at least in an ideal way in which they should work. You still feel emotions, you still experience feelings, and you can still feel sad, even feel depressed at times still.
Well,
It just
one of my
keeps, hold on, wait,
friends,
hold on one second. It helps you overcome that debilitating aspect of depression. I don't even want to get out of bed in the morning. I wish I was fucking hanging myself right now.
I
That
don't
kind of
think that's
shit.
actually true.
Wait, do you not think it's true? Like no one ever has had that, or like it's not true? Like
Well, no, they
generally,
do,
because I
but
mean,
it's not.
I
It's
personally
because
have had
they're
that, so I
being
don't know what you
misguided. They're
mean
being
with it's not
misguided. They're
true.
not looking. They're not reading the right books. They're not or they're not listening to the right stuff. It's usually they're being misguided because a lot of the time you send people to these grounding camps. For example, Elliot Hulse,
What is a
like,
grounding camp?
well, okay, like there's different kinds of, grounding camps or, like camps you can go to. But it's basically where a bunch of men get together and, we just like, work out a lot and grunt. Like it does look weird and it sounds hilarious. Like it sounds very bizarre, but like,
So, okay, before we get off that,
yeah.
can we at least like just concede then that there is no fucking, you're not high on antidepressants? Can we just scratch that one off,
Well,
please?
I don't know. Like one of my friends, he, like when he took that stuff, like he was on what is it called? Like it's like I think I don't even know, like an SSRI or like what is it, like Lexapro or something? I don't remember. Wellbutrin. I don't remember how to
Okay, what
pronounce it.
happened? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, he said yeah, he was high, and like I'm ever since then I've just been like, dude, like that stuff is like dangerous,
Well,
man.
since I'm still like not too sure if you're even a troll, odds are like if you're hanging around.
And well, wait, hold on. Can I actually stop you really quick? This is one thing that actually does kind of bother me is like just because someone doesn't agree with you or something, it doesn't mean you have to dismiss them as a troll. Like
No, no, no.
it's kind of
No.
it's a
I'm
slippery
sorry.
slope
Let
a
me
little bit.
clarify, please, because
Okay.
I am not at
Yeah,
all
please.
trying to dismiss you as a
Yeah,
troll
yeah, yeah. No,
for
I get it. I'm
disagreeing
not
with me.
trying
It's
to
just that
dismiss. I
when
get
you come in saying like, "Yeah, dude, just like run around," it's hard for me to take that seriously when it's a
well,
meme
no,
where it's like,
no,
"Just
it's
go
because
outside,
it's actually
bro."
really
So
simple. I
let me
think that's the
explain. Is
reason
that
why.
first of
Okay,
all,
go for it. Go
if
for it.
considering how dumb you are, it's quite likely that maybe your friend is
Okay,
also
dude,
stupid and
this is
gave you
what I'm
bad
talking
advice.
about.
So
I
that's
know
the
you're
first
just
thing.
kidding.
The second thing is also that again, maybe that medication didn't work for your friend. Maybe that medication was a bad idea
I don't know,
for your
dude.
friend to be
I
taking.
heard from one
However, for
person.
people like
I just
me,
heard from
when
one
I take
person.
the exact same medication, I was not high on antidepressants. It just helped me get out of the debilitating stage.
Okay, that's the same thing as saying like, oh, like weed helps me get out of my debilitating state. Like, I just don't see a meaningful distinction between the two, bruh. Like,
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't
I'll,
know,
I'll
man.
give you
Like,
I can explain the meaningful distinction. So the meaningful
okay, yeah,
distinction
yeah,
is
but you
weed
you kind of
after.
understand what I'm trying to get at, like really quick. Like, oh, like alcohol just makes me feel like I want to get out of bed, or it makes me feel normal. Like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
no,
the
the
same kind
difference
of,
is that one
yeah,
is
go
something
for
that
it.
does a long-term negative harm to your body after prolonged use. So frequent marijuana use decreases your brain's production of dopamine and actually makes depression worse. So no, that would not be the
Hey, can I
comparable at
actually add
all.
something, a footnote? We can come back to this, but I heard that literally the vaccine does that, but that's another topic for another time. But continue.
The vaccine, what?
The vaccine does that. It does what you're talking about, and it's kind of a contradiction because you think
It
that,
negatively impacts dopamine?
I think so.
Okay, well, before we look into that, because that sounds
Yeah.
really unlikely,
Yeah.
yeah, like frequent marijuana use literally just decreases dopamine production. And it's arguable, we're not sure really what the research is yet because it's kind of inconclusive, but it seems to suggest that there are at least long term, if not permanent, negative effects to your brain and the way your brain even reacts to dopamine. So if somebody said,
Yeah.
how is this not analogous? Because I just need to, sip my beer or smoke my blunt to get out of bed, because that long term is harming you. Taking your antidepressant every day, like taking an SSRI or a serotonin reinhibitor or whatever, that's not a bad thing. That doesn't hurt you long term. It benefits you.
Oh, well, I don't know. Well, okay, well, I'm not. I don't really like to go. I know this. I know you don't like this for whatever reason. There's a lot of people on the left who don't like it when I say this, but
Go ahead. You
I
can
don't
say
really
it.
like to go off the research that much. I know that's like the most. I think you guys like say that's really stupid and all that, and
I'm definitely
I
soying out.
feel
Yeah.
like you got to go off your like what you know on the inside, like more intuitive things. Like if my friend who I trust and I have an intuitive bond with,
Hmm.
and he's having this problem, and like I feel like I have to go off that, like instead of this like whatever, like these you can pull out these studies like kind of like what John Doyle was saying, like these Pokemon cards, like that's
Right.
what you
Well,
got to
that's the
do.
the problem is that it seems like that when you don't have a good understanding of how the data works. It's not just pulling a study out like Pokemon cards. The funny thing is that's what usually like the race realist types or the anti-vax types do all the time is they will take data, misrepresent it and then use it to fuel an agenda without actually taking in the entirety of the study or at least reading what the study's conclusion is. So I think that the problem is it might be that you're almost seeing this as like a dichotomy that doesn't necessarily have to be there. Why does it have to be I cannot trust my friend because data? Couldn't it be the data generally suggests that for most people, this medication, or for most people with this type of depression, this medication can be helpful. But at least what my
Well, how
friend
do I
told me,
even
hold
know
on,
that
wait, can I
these?
just finish, please?
Okay,
But
yeah,
at
yeah,
least
for sure,
according
for
to
sure.
what my friend told me, it just didn't sound like it helped him very much. It made him feel almost like he was high and it was just weird. Like if you said that, that's fine. The problem is that you're taking your personal experience and then extrapolating that on everybody.
Well, here's the thing. We don't actually know how these studies are like at the end of the day, like there's so much bias and there's so much left-wing bias in these institutions that we don't even know if these studies are actually accurate and
Well,
the
which
conclusions they're coming
which
to.
study exactly? Like which
Oh,
bias
no,
study
like
thing?
almost like every study that's done through like any major institution, they're all hyper neoliberal like weirdos who are trying to,
You're gonna
groom
like, do
kids.
you
They're
mean like when
trying to.
there's pharmaceutical data suggesting
Well,
that like
no,
the
they're the same
antidepressants
people who are
work?
trying to groom kids. They're the same people who are trying to literally force everybody to take the vaccine.
This is why I think
Um,
why I keep asking if you're a troll is because like it's hard to believe that you're being sincere when you say
well,
things
no,
that like
because
that.
well, no, wait. So can you tell me exactly what it was that made it seem like I was a troll?
Yeah, when you're like they're the same people that are grooming kids. It sounds like you're here to
Okay, we
basically.
can talk
Well,
about
hold
that
on.
one
Can
too,
I
and
just
that's another
say?
thing. That's another bone I have to pick with you though, because like this whole pedophile thing, man. Like I don't know.
Hold on. Wait, we're not
That's
moving
another.
yet off this.
Okay,
The
we can.
problem
I
is
want to
that
put a
you
pin in
have a
it though. Can I
bad
put a pin in it?
understanding of this data, and you think that. So first and foremost, yeah, of course, some studies can be biased. Yeah, some studies are manipulated, and some studies come out and then are later proven to have flaws. But that
Ah,
is just
dude.
a. Well, hold on, wait,
I just
please.
think
Please, hold on a minute, dude.
you
That
haven't
is
even
literally.
listened to
Well, hold on, just wait.
Pop
That is.
Doctor, dude.
Shh, be quiet. That is literally part and parcel of what happens within scientific the scientific research essentially is that you are going to have things like here's what the data says now, newer data comes out and now contradicts what we previously thought, and then it moves on from there. That's why you're
What
consistently,
specifically?
well, hold on,
Can you
wait,
give me an
please.
example?
You're consistently looking
Yeah.
for the best explanation via the most rational and best
How do we
resources that you have
even know that it's
available.
the most rational, though? How do we know that? You can't know for a fact.
Well, know what for a fact exactly.
We like you keep claiming, oh, it's the most rational. Like, from what framework are you operating
Well,
from?
because
Like,
so
how do
far
we
the
know that?
scientific method and the scientific research, first of all, the only thing that has fixed science has been more science. So that's the first thing. The second
Ooh,
thing is
I okay,
what,
that's
hold
one
on, wait, stop,
strong
please.
disagreement,
What
but continue.
science has
Sorry.
brought us towards thus far
Oh.
has proven accurate. It's not
See, this
rational.
is the
Hold on,
problem.
wait,
Wait,
stop, please. It's
proven is a
not
bad word.
rational because I say so or because my friend told me. It's rational because it has been proven reliable and predictive time
Oh,
and
these
time
words. I'm
again.
gonna actually write this down. Hold on, because I want to write that down. Is this? Oh man, that I don't know, man. I'm having a hard time like with those words. You keep making these really absolutist words, man, and like it just like I don't know. Like you say proven, you say like you
Wait,
see how that kind
how do we
of.
know that the world is round? Is it from science?
Well, no, we know the world is round because of like there's actually ways to demonstrate this without like
How is it a
I can give
universally understood fact that the world is round? Is it because of science?
well, I would say more so deductive reasoning.
So, how did we then move away from the idea that the world was flat into an understanding that the world was round? Was it because of science?
Well, yeah, but no, but you can. I think you're
And then
making a
how did
false
we move away
equivalency
from
here.
this idea that everything circled the world, and then we later understood that actually the Earth circles the sun? It was science.
Sure, but no, 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 no. This is not how we come to these conclusions, man.
Well, let me just say the last thing, and I promise I'll let you go. But like
Okay.
at the time when it was believed that actually the sun circulates the Earth, we
Then no.
had we had scientific evidence at the time that suggested that. However, that was incorrect. So science again came along and fixed that flaw. That's what I mean when I say science is consistent, in that it is consistently trying to give us the most rational and meaningful
You can make
explanation.
the
And so
argument
far
for
it
the
has been.
sun.
So
Okay,
far it
can I
has. So go
I
ahead.
go now?
Yes.
Okay. So the problem with what you just said is the Bible technically, it literally came to that conclusion. There's a section in the Bible that talks about the earth being round. And so it got to that conclusion faster actually than science.
Wait, there
And
isn't.
you're
Wait,
telling
hold
me,
on,
well,
wait.
it's an
What
absolute,
does the
the
Bible
Bible's
say
an
about the world being
absolute.
round?
What?
What does the
Yes, it
world say?
does. It says, yes, it does. Go look it up. It talks about, it was the first book of its time to talk about the earth being a globe.
All right, let's see.
And if I'm wrong, I am very sorry. I'm pretty damn sure that's right.
Okay, let's see. Because I've heard, it's funny because I've heard the complete opposite.
Oh, really?
I heard that it said the Bible is flat. So what does the Bible mean by the four corners of the earth?
Did the Bible?
Is that what you're talking
Are you
about?
asking me, or is that like?
I'm reading the thing that came up.
Oh, okay.
Did the Bible say round earth?
Yeah, no, it definitely did. Wait, did the Bible talk about?
All right, so they're saying in Revelation some critics are wrong. I'm reading this from like a pro-Christian site too, so.
Okay.
The earth is suspended in space. Let's see, hold on. Some Bible critics have claimed that Revelation 7:1 assumes a flat earth, since the verse refers to angels standing at the four corners of the earth. Actually, the reference is to the cardinal directions. Okay, cool. Literal translation is, he described a circle upon the face of waters until the day and night come to an end. The circle of the earth? I don't
They
know.
probably just
I
didn't
guess
have a
that's...
word at the time for sphere. But like, because think about it like this. Why
Yeah,
would it be a
so, well,
circle?
can I just say real
No,
quick
no.
that, like, yeah, that's
Yeah, go
fine. I
for it.
don't know what this has to do with anything. It wasn't it's not just an assertion. It's not that
Oh.
science came along and said, hey, the world is round. And we were like, okay. No, the science came along
Well,
and provided evidence that that
Oh my
demonstrated that
God, that's so
fact.
funny, dude. Holy crap.
The
I'm
Bible just
sorry.
asserted it, and it didn't even technically assert it. It kind
Dude,
of confusingly made it sound like, yeah, maybe it was getting at that it was around Earth. Even if it
well, the
said it
Bible usually
directly, it was
doesn't
an
include
assertion
anything.
compared to a
People just
test
misunderstand it.
and then a
Like,
result. There's a huge difference there.
well, no, usually people just misconstrue the Bible. So, like, see how I was really easily able to come in? Okay, you called me dumb, so I get a dumb pass on you. So, you see how I was really easily able to come in, really clear it up for you? I'm like, hey, listen, the word sphere didn't exist, back in the day, because,
Is what you
you know,
said. Like, you don't know that necessarily.
yeah, but like this, I was able to interpret it within literally like 2 seconds of looking at it. And
Okay.
so I think it's just people who are misguided. And you're not the only one, by the way. Like just several people, even some conservatives obviously are misguided. And I come in and I clear it up.
Yeah, you're over
But
here clearing everything up. But can I just
I know,
reiterate my
right?
point, please? Because
Yeah,
even
for
if
sure.
the Bible specifically said, and then God said the world is round and it is
Uh-huh.
suspended in space, it is a spherical earth or whatever, that
Yeah.
doesn't make your Bible the better thing as opposed to the science. And the reason why is because one is an assertion made, the other is demonstrable via the scientific method. One is, hey, you believe this thing because the evidence suggests this is the most rational thing to believe. The other, as far as the Bible, is you believe this thing because you have faith in God and that God is right, so therefore the Bible is correct, therefore world round. That's not evidence, that's faith.
Well, I just don't really agree though. Like I can I guess we're just gonna have to like agree to disagree on that one. Like I don't know, it's just my
So
opinion.
you think that it's better to just have an assertion?
Well, that's just my opinion. Like yeah, I mean asserting things is it's how you get things done instead of, having this debate and argument and like I think that's why God is so important. It provides objectivity to our
Well,
lives.
God,
It's
that's in a hypothetical world, then sure, maybe. But no, currently God does not provide any objectivity. If anything, it's more subjectivity.
oh man.
So we have a
I don't
problem with
understand how you
that.
can say that,
And that,
bro.
well, yeah, do you know, are you aware of like the certain brain studies that have asked people, what does God think about this thing? And the part of their brain that interprets what they would think about something is what lights up. Like, yeah, everybody has their own view of God. The reason is there is no objectivity because God decides for whatever reason to not make himself known in any meaningful way as to give us that objectivity. Instead, what you have are a bunch of
You're
subjective
wrong,
religious
man.
beliefs based on other people interpreting the Bible according to how
I'm
they
gonna
read it
pull up a
or
verse from the
compared to
Bible
other
really
people.
quick. Yeah, you need to read this.
I think that you need to think through what you're saying right now. You're telling me that you would rather there just be an assertion than an evidence-based explanation. Do you not
Well,
understand how that's like really, really a bad way to
no,
go?
because when something who is all knowing says something, then why go against it? Why try to create little like board games and math? Like, I'm not saying math is bad. I'm just saying like little like stupid little like man-made crap to try to determine if it's
Because we don't know
right
that
when
God
you
is
have
all
someone
knowing,
telling
because
us.
God is not demonstrated to be, or God has not demonstrated himself to
Can
be
I
all
actually read
knowing.
this Hebrews verse really quickly?
The biblical verse?
He is
Sure.
the radiance of the glory of God and the exact imprint of his nature, and he upholds the universe by the word of his power. Literally debunked. Like,
Wait, what's
dude, like
debunked here? Wait. What was debunked?
the idea that God is not, or that God is somehow wrong.
You have to. Oh God. I'm really trying hard not to ask you again if you're trolling
Like,
me, because
well,
the problem
dude,
is
like,
sometimes people come on here and they
this is a
they
hard concept to grasp. I
they seem
understand, but
really
you do not
upset when I
understand
keep
it.
asking if they're trolling, and then as soon as I log off, they go on Twitter and say, "Haha, I just trolled Hunter for the last half hour to waste his time." So are you really fucking serious here when you're saying things like this? Like this?
Like, what are you talking about exactly?
What
Like
you're
this
like?
verse?
Yes, are you here to like kind of troll a lol
No.
and you don't really believe what you're saying? Or are you sincere?
With, well, I mean, yeah.
Okay, so you haven't
Why
demonstrated
wouldn't
that
I
the
do?
Bible
I
is
don't.
reliable.
It's like, dude, this is
You
literally
haven't
super. This is
demonstrated
what a
that
lot of
God
leftists
knows
do.
everything. This is the
Yes.
problem, is you're comfortable believing something irrationally, and I'm not. That's the big difference here, is that you are comfortable reading something and then just coming to a conclusion that, well, this is probably from God, even though, let's be real, there's no hard evidence of that. And God is all-knowing, even though there's arguably evidence to the contrary. And then you say, well, because God is all-knowing and this book is from God, therefore I'm going to obey book. If that's fine for you, whatever.
Yeah,
But for
that
those of
makes
us with a
sense.
brain, which has apparently been given to us from God, no, we want evidence. There should be a rational justification for why you believe certain things.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done refuting all the dumb shit you said. Yes,
Okay.
you're free to
Well,
talk now.
dude, oh man, why do you have to be rude? Okay, anyways. So, okay, one of the biggest pieces of evidence I would say, because you keep asking for evidence, because I don't know, you're a materialist or whatever, it's weird. Anyways,
Rational, but continue.
okay, yeah, cool.
Come on, dude.
All right, anyways. All right, so, um, how do you justify then, the people on the left advocating for, you know, um, how do I say this? I don't want to like offend you, but
You realize you're not gonna wait. So far, I'm the one who's been offending you because I keep insulting you.
well, because I don't want to see. I'm working through God right now.
Well,
Like, I'm
God
trying
is
not
just
to.
doing a really shitty job then. I'm sorry. But
Dude, okay,
like,
okay,
well, hold on,
whatever.
wait.
I'll
Okay,
keep
if
it
you're
easy.
wait, if God is working through you, then I really want to know. So if God is the objective truth and morals, and we should just have faith in him rather and just literally trust his assertions
Oh my
rather than have any
gosh.
rational explanation.
I was literally just about to tell you. You can see this in the world. Like, look around you. Like, literally, look what's going on. Look who is controlling the left wing. It's atheists. They're literally, like, literally they're literally causing several human rights violations.
What are the
One.
can you please name one
Yeah, I'm
human
gonna go
rights
through. I'm
violation,
gonna
please?
say
That
all
is
of them, and then
happening
I'm gonna
in
go
the
back.
U.S. Go ahead.
Yep, yep. So one, they're forcing kids to learn about, not appropriate things at school. Like, it's essentially it's almost like the same thing, not as bad, but it's almost as like showing the kids pornography in class. Like, you have to be in seventh grade to literally learn about sex ed, but kids are literally being forced to learn about, LGBTQ and, have your opinions on LGBTQ. You can, that's your choice, I guess. It's what it is, but at the end of the day,
Do you
yeah,
think that
no,
do you
they're,
think slavery is a human rights violation?
well, of course.
Then why did God why was God okay with it then?
He was not.
Really?
No, that's so you misinterpret that all the time. We can
Oh,
go through it right
please.
now.
I've been waiting for somebody to
Yeah,
please just give me
yeah,
the
I will.
final
Pull
debunk.
it up. Pull it up.
Oh, you don't even know what verse I'm talking about?
I don't need to.
So you
Uh,
are going to tell me I misinterpreted, but you don't even know which verse I'm referring to.
well, okay. I don't know the exact name, and
It's,
like I
it's
know I
in
was.
like Leviticus, and then there's one in
Yeah, of
Exodus.
course. Like, can you read it again? I don't know. Obviously, no one remembers these verses off the top of their head, but yeah, they're usually misinterpreted. So, like, let's go. Give me a shot.
Leviticus 25:44. Read the full chapter. The top one right here starts off with the Lord said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelites and say this to them." And this is what God told Moses to tell the Israelites. And then you can scroll to verse 44. Your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of the
Hmm.
temporary residents
Oh,
living
okay,
among
gotcha.
you.
Keep
Hold on,
going.
wait. I would like to finish this first, please.
Yeah, for sure.
And their clans in your country, and they will become your property. You can bequeath them to your children as inherited property and can make them slaves for life, but you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly. And it ends with, "They are my
Okay.
servants. I am the Lord your
So,
God."
okay, I can try to tell you, but like, first off, second off, it was at a different time when it was more accepted. Yeah, that's bad, obviously nowadays, but
So
back
God was
then
okay with
it was
something because it was.
natural. Like, technically, slavery is, it's the way that this happens in nature too. But anyways,
Wait, I'm
um,
super confused though. So yeah, it was a common practice at the time, but I thought God is above all that because he's
humans
God.
aren't though. Humans aren't.
So then why did God tell them they could do it?
Because no, because God didn't literally. I think what you think is God is literally writing the Bible in heaven. He's like up there. He has a little like one of those like feather
It's the
pencils,
verse
and
starts off with the Lord said to Moses. What else am I supposed to do?
no, because so when the Lord speaks to you, you can misinterpret it. So when
So
you're
how
reading
do
the
you know
Bible,
what's misinterpreted and what
the
isn't?
Lord is technically speaking to you when you're reading the
What
Bible.
how do you know
It
what
doesn't.
is misinterpreted and what isn't, please?
Well, this is you're gonna hate this because you're all
It's
about
faith-based?
evidence. You're very black and white.
It's
You're always
faith-based? Is that what you're going to say?
Well, pretty much. It's a little bit of both. It's
So
like
you're just going off what you're
95%.
feeling then.
Well, I mean, it's a feeling that's above all others. Like you can't even experience it on like Lexapro. I'm just kidding. Anyways, um,
Wait, hold on.
no,
So you're
yeah.
literally just straight up acknowledging then yes, you read through the Bible and you pick and choose which verses you want to believe actually came from God based on how your tummy feels. That is fucking delusional. That's like
Oh my
irrational.
gosh,
You
never,
realize me
bro, Nero,
calling you
you
wait.
misinterpreted what
Me
I said.
calling you dumb beforehand was like being generous. This is pathetic.
Wait, hold on. You just don't run away with this. You can keep roasting me, but I do need to respond.
So please try and justify this or admit that this sounds yikesy for the God who is supposed to be the objective morality to have been okay with this.
Wait, so who did he say it to?
He said it
What
to
did
Moses.
Hey, so Moses is wrong. He was just like you. He was misinterpreting what God said.
So this
Like
one verse was misinterpreted. Is the all of Leviticus
a lot of them
misinterpreted?
are. A lot of them are. A lot of them are.
So are the gay verses, the anti-gay verses misinterpreted too?
Um, I don't see. I don't really. I only really focus on the New Testament.
I'm like the
I
verses
think
that say
over.
like you should stone if two men are together. That's an abomination. Like
Well,
what
I mean,
was that? Maybe a misinterpretation. Maybe Moses got that one wrong too, and it's actually
I
totally okay
mean,
to be pro LGBT as a Christian.
I don't want to step on anyone's toes. Like I'm not, but I mean, I
Stop
do
being
have my
so afraid
thoughts
of
on that.
offending people and just say what you think.
I mean, it's just not. It doesn't seem healthy.
What doesn't?
Like I feel like they're trying to protect people from getting AIDS or some disease back then, not AIDS.
Okay. So
So they
how do
wanted
you
to.
know?
So it's
So
kind of
was
okay.
that?
Think about it like this: God pretty much by banning it, it was kind of like ban was technically the vaccine for that time, because I think that was an easier way
Do you
for
think it was?
diseases
Do
to
you think that
spread.
a vaccine or the vaccine at the time is equivalent to stoning people that participate in that
And
behavior?
yes, I do because I think diseases spread a lot differently back then, and when gay people got together, back then it was yeah, like they spread diseases like crazy, man.
Um. Okay. Yeah. So how do you know that verse wasn't misinterpreted though? Maybe it was.
Yeah, again, I can't answer that. I can't answer
So
everything for
why
you,
is
man.
it then that the slave verse is misinterpreted? Because it's
Uh,
not the only time God has
Men
okayed
are
slavery.
yeah, men are subject to, being wrong. I mean, I can be wrong as well. You never know, I
Even my
guess.
chat is saying like you have to be trolling.
What do you, oh my God. Dude, okay, what do you want me to say?
Are you okay if I ask like how old you are?
Yeah,
Are you over
but
the
why
age of
does that even
18?
matter? Yeah. Why? Why does this matter?
It's just hard. Usually people with your beliefs try and like mask them differently, and you're like coming in here just like,
Okay, I like how you're telling me to mask him, but you're like, "Oh, don't be afraid to say it,
no, no,
bro."
no. I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying the way that you're delivering what you supposedly think is just like it sounds like something a troll would say. But okay, I guess I'll take your word for it, and we'll keep going here for another few minutes. But
Yeah, whatever. What do you want me to say? Like,
I want you to
this is
tell me
hard to
how
talk
you're
about.
okay with saying that God is the arbiter of morality. However, you started off with saying if we had God, or God is great because he gives us a level of objectivity. How is God giving us objectivity if now it is subjective as to which verses were actually inspired by God?
This
Please.
is you just don't really know. Like, I never
So
said,
how is it objective?
did I say that?
You said God gives us objectivity. That's why God is so good. At the
Well,
beginning of
no,
this comment, that's what you said.
I didn't. Okay, wait, hold on. I meant objectivity as like, you know, it's in its colloquial sense, like not in its actual legitimate meaning. Like, okay, it gives us more grounding, keyword more. It's but objective, like, yeah, I don't know. There's no way to know like 99.9%, or I'm sorry, 100%. I can know 99.9% though. You know what I mean?
No. And then
Okay.
how if you come to a certain conclusion. So let's say that you look at this verse, right, and you say that couldn't have been inspired by God. That was just a misinterpretation. Well, what about all the white conservative Christians of the olden days that would invoke these verses specifically to justify the fact that they were enslaving people?
Dude, I don't. It's again like they could be totally wrong, different time. There's a lot
But
of
that's
different
like
things
the
that play into.
complete opposite of objectivity. My secular moral foundation would give us more objectivity than that.
No, dude, more okay.
Yes, it would.
How
Start with
exactly?
all
Wait a minute.
human
Hold
beings.
on.
Stop, stop. Start with the basic premise that virtually every human being, sure, there are some exceptions, like if you're depressed or clinically ill, whatever. However, we will say that, generally speaking, virtually all human beings want to continue living. They want to be in good health. Life is preferable to death. You probably heard it worded that way. So we'll start with that. Also, pleasure is preferable to suffering. Okay, if we start with that, if we can just agree on those basic principles, slavery is already bad. According to your worldview, it's, well, I say that this isn't from God. And then the guy who has his sex slaves in the
It's funny
dungeon
because you
says,
literally
well,
just.
I say it is from
Oh,
God.
okay,
So,
I'm gonna write this
gotcha.
down. Okay, so it's literally so funny. You were literally just talking about science and how it changes all the time, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
So,
what are you talking about?
so two things. One, the fact that science is changing is a good thing because that gives us better moves forward. So now we have a better
Okay,
understanding of,
wow.
say, psychological harm. Now we know what that is like. Now we know things that we used to think weren't harmful are actually harmful in certain degrees. So we then can further improve society. That's why society gets better because of progressives and people that
Oh
are
my gosh,
pro,
that's so
stop,
not
and
true. Look at
people
these
that are
liberal
pro
cities,
fucking
bro.
science, in
Oh my gosh,
despite of
that's so
dipshits
wrong.
like you who
No, wait,
stand in
hold
the
on.
way of
Look at
this,
these
who get
cities.
up here and
Look at
literally
these
say,
cities.
fellas, it's gay if you're not depressed.
Yeah, I mean, wait, no, no, I think the other way around. Oh,
Yeah, because if
okay.
you
No, no,
take
no.
medication to not be depressed, you said that's beta. So it's literally,
That's not
fellas, is
going to.
it
Okay,
gay to not be
hold
depressed?
on. Hold the crap on, man. I did not say that. All I said was, hey, listen, there are other means you can use, or there's other ways of achieving not being depressed other than taking fucking hallucinogenic
They're
drugs.
not
That's literally
hallucinogenic
it.
drugs. That is factually untrue.
Hey, that
But
was just,
also, the
I'm
difference
just
with the changing of science is
exaggerating, dude.
that is changing based upon more evidence that you yourself can see or at least read about.
Just like the
For
vaccine,
you, it's
bro.
changing.
Holy
Hold on, wait, wait, wait.
crap, bro.
For you, it's changing based on how you're feeling at the time. That's
Wait,
not a
wait, can I ask you
reliable
to back?
method to bring us to truth.
Wait, yes or no? Is California a terrible place to live? And that's because of progressives like the ones that hold the same beliefs as you.
What have
So
progressives
like, how
done
could you
that
say it's
make
making
that have made
society?
California super bad to live in? Please.
What? Can you repeat that?
What have progressives done that have made California a worse place to live?
Well, the taxes, and there's a huge homeless population. We can keep going. Obviously, it's insanely expensive. That was because of
Well, first
progressive
of all, there are
policy.
definitely severe issues in some of the major cities in California, yeah. But you would then have to demonstrate why that's somehow a progressive's problem. And two, well, not a problem, of course it's their problem, but how they caused that, excuse me. And then you would have to demonstrate how
Because they
this
run
is,
a
wait,
state.
wait, wait, stop. Then you would have to demonstrate how this is unique because every city, since you have people living in closer proximity, has higher rates of crime, homelessness, etc. The one thing that you guys never talk about is the fact that Republican states receive the most federal aid. It's you
Dude,
guys
I'm
that are
literally
actually
in the middle,
negatively
bro.
impacting
Like,
our tax dollars.
yeah, the Republicans can be kind of weird sometimes. Like, I think I agree with them more for sure, but I definitely say I'm a centrist, absolutely. I just completely disagree with what the left is. I just think it's evil, to be honest. And like, we can talk about the Bible thing till the cows come home. I mean, but at the end of the day, look at the outcomes. Look what's going on in these progressive cities. I know they're in close proximity, whatever.
Some of them
But
are great.
well, like, look at some of them are great.
Yeah,
Whoa.
there are elements that, like progressive policies, for example, are, yeah, pretty beneficial for people. Yeah. I mean, whether we
Which
want to talk
one?
about whether we want to talk about Joe Biden on a federal level or do we want to talk about a state by state basis? Because,
I really miss Trump, but keep going. Like, holy
right,
crap.
I know, enlightened centrist who agrees with every right wing position and voted Trump.
Okay,
Yeah, I
dude.
got it.
Yeah,
But
well,
let
because
me
it
go
makes
back to
more
what I
sense.
was saying a minute ago is that
Yeah.
Biden has put forward multiple different policies that have benefited people. Whether we want to talk about his infrastructure bill, that was a bipartisan thing. Both Democrats and Republicans came together. And that also had something that was unique to help address some of these poorer minority communities that have been fucked over by systemic racism. Stuff like that is
Oh my
benefiting
gosh, you
people
believe in,
more.
dude? Are you a BLM kind of guy?
Yes.
Like, okay, what, dude? The riots, bro, really not cool. Like, what? Like,
Yeah, the
dude,
riots were really bad. The riots have to stop, okay? I'll just leave it at that. I won't finish the quote.
Okay. Well, the thing is, like, I don't understand why you would, support something like that. I mean, um,
Because there's a difference between a bunch of dipshits that are running around rioting and acting like fucking fools, and then people who are outside protesting against a very legitimate systemic problem.
okay. Well, the Black Lives Matter narrative is really not based upon systemic racism. It's more based upon, a false narrative. But
What's the
that's for
false
another
narrative?
day. That police are targeting black people disproportionately, which is not true.
Sure. If you were to say they were targeting black people disproportionately, then yeah, I would probably say that's not actually true across the board.
So
Because
name a
targeting
reason.
them hold on, stop. Because targeting them implies that you have some intent there. What it is actually is that police violence disproportionately affects black communities, and that's
You know how
because of.
easy
Hold
it
on,
is to get out of
stop.
poverty?
Shh, be
You know
quiet.
how easy?
What?
You know how easy? Literally, all you don't even. Okay, I know you watch Ben Shapiro and you
I didn't
clown
hear
on
what you
Ben
just
Shapiro.
said. What about poverty?
Okay, so it's really easy to get out of poverty. All you need to do. This is actually a Ben Shapiro quote, so don't laugh at me. But
Or just get a
it's
dono from a fucking $100 dono. Holy shit, John. Thank you.
that is
That's a
well,
good way
okay,
out of
cool. That's
poverty.
capitalism, so
Go
that's
ahead,
kind of
please.
contradictory.
I'm pro-capitalist, dude. I'm a social democrat. This is why I
Okay,
feel like you're trolling, is because you're being fucking stupid.
okay.
So
Well,
make your
no,
point
because
so we
I'm
can wrap
actually.
up this conversation, please.
Can we actually talk again?
I would love to talk again, but you're like mind-numbingly dumb here. I mean,
Okay,
first you showed up and
you
said
just
God gives us a sense of objectivity. Then you admitted that is actually completely subjective, based nothing on your feelings, based upon nothing but your feelings. I
the
mean,
God thing is kind of it's almost like moot. Like I don't know, man. Like it's hard to debate it because it doesn't. Because debating literally relies on logic and like actual like
and you're
word match.
illogical. I get it. Yeah, so it's
No, no, but
tough.
when we talk about Black Lives Matter, we were actually going somewhere, and then you just go back to insults.
I did not just go back to insults. You were going to
What
tell
did
me
you?
how to get out of poverty. Could you please explain?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So it's a Ben Shapiro quote, and I know you don't like him, and he's kind of a goober, but basically all he said was the only things you need to do to get out of poverty are you need to get a job, not have kids out of wedlock, and not do drugs. Three things, very easy. Do you read Jordan Peterson's books?
So let's say that somebody made a mistake. Okay. They didn't get proper sex education when they were younger because their school was really shitty and underfunded. So they went out and they had sex before marriage. And unfortunately, this girl at only 18 was impregnated. And then, unfortunately, the father either dipped or maybe was arrested because he had half a milligram of marijuana. And then now she's in a position where she's a single mother. She's also had kids out of wedlock. She's violated one of those rules. So let me say two things. One, that's true. Yeah, having kids out of wedlock or doing drugs, 100% is a surefire way to fuck up your chances of getting out of poverty in the future. Yes, that's not even bad advice. The bad advice comes from after that's happened. So what should happen after the fact?
Um, After that, continue not to do those things.
Wait. So
Continue
you're
to make
saying
good
don't
decisions.
have kids out of marriage, don't do
Yeah.
drugs, and what was the other one?
Um, Wait, don't do drugs, don't have kids out of wedlock, and have a job.
Okay, have a job. Got it. So
Oh, no, 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 sorry, not have a job. Graduate high school.
graduate high school. Okay. So there
There
are
we go.
higher rates of dropouts of people, of black people or minority groups that drop out rather than graduating from high school, partially because of the higher rates of poverty. They have to go out and get a job in order to just survive, or the schools are underfunded in a way that they have not achieved a level of education that is actually relevant or meaningful in any way. I would have to look up more explicit, direct reasons why, but I do know it is a fact that minority groups disproportionately don't graduate high school in some of these communities. So you have that problem. You have the disproportionate rate of single mothers in the black community. That is a problem. And then I
Well,
keep
you know
forgetting,
why
what was
that
the
is,
last
by
one?
the
Don't
way?
do drugs. You have a higher rate of drug abuse and drug use in these communities, partially because of the poverty, which is because of systemic racism. So what you're doing right now is giving me a Ben Shapiro quote that ultimately just says, hey, black people, stop doing what you've been doing and everything will get better, which only then infers that all black people are stupid. Because why the fuck has this been going on for generations upon generations?
Hey, I'll explain that. It's literally because men are being told to be like women.
No. This has been going on for generations, even before the
Yes.
spooky
Well,
feminists came along and told men to be like women.
No, this more so started in the 70s with the, sexual revolution. It's been going on since then, more so. Like after like, the civil rights thing.
So wait, who told men to be more like women?
Media.
Okay. You're gonna have to give me some kind of a source for that, buddy, because I know maybe for the Bible
Well,
your
can I
feelings
actually,
are they
are
suffice,
you
but
getting on tomorrow? Are you getting on tomorrow?
yes, I'll be live from 10 a.m. to 3
Okay,
p.m. Eastern.
okay, so that is something I'm a lot more well versed in. So this is like a tribute to that for tomorrow, I
Wait,
guess.
what is?
Because I'm gonna have to
What
go.
exactly are you?
Okay.
More
Huh?
well versed? What are you more well versed in, please?
Oh, like how, the media is manipulating men to be women, women to be more like men, and yeah.
Okay, can I? Well, are you trying to leave, or is this? Yeah, is
I
this it?
gotta go soon. I
Okay,
do
well,
have
all
to
I'll
go.
say then is that a lot of the problem is that you interpret the media telling men to act like women as, or no, sorry, you interpret feminists talking about things like toxic masculinity as saying men need to be more like women.
Yeah,
When
I'm gonna leave you on that. I'm gonna write that down. That's gonna be the premise I'm gonna debunk tomorrow.
you want to talk toxic masculinity,
That's gonna be the entire debate. I don't want to go and,
toxic
I
masculinity, yeah,
kind of was
okay, well,
gish
I would
galloping a little
100%
bit.
talk to you about toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I was kind of gish galloping. I will not lie. I was kind of going up because I don't know. There's just
It's
a lot to
fine.
talk
It's
to.
fine. It's fine. All I'll say is there is data that suggests that men who adhere to these rigid, toxic masculine ideals, such as be more
Damn right.
authoritative, be more dominant, and especially be stoic and do not express emotion, are
Ooh,
more
all right.
likely to act in violence against women. Which then, do you want to look up one of the biggest reasons for divorce? It's domestic abuse.
Okay, dude, we're gonna have to, like, I have so much to say on that, and I just wrote it down. So, yeah, get prepared tonight. I do more studying. Like, I'm
Okay.
not even kidding, because I've read so many books, and like, I don't know, man. I actually have looked at the research too on this one.
Is that research just not biased or?
No, well, no, it was the reason why it isn't biased is because it was actually done by, I know the institution. It was actually done by my old university.
I
'Cause
should clarify
by the
too.
way, I'm
Somebody in
actually,
chat's calling me out on this. Stoicism, that's true. I need to stop using that interchangeably with emotional
no,
suppression.
listen,
When I say
because
stoic, though, I'm meaning suppressing emotions, especially this idea that men shouldn't cry. That is incredibly harmful.
yeah, that's what I was actually going to get you on. So I'm glad you cleared that up. But yeah, the reason why this study is not biased is because I actually was a part of it. It's funny that we talk about this, and I can actually try to find the research. It was actually at my old university, so I talked to some of the professors and stuff like that were conducting it. So
You were a part
yeah,
of the
we can.
study on toxic
Yeah, I
masculinity?
actually was
Were you
one
the
of them.
you were one of the toxic masculine males?
No, that's not. That's not. No, no. It wasn't literally about toxic masculine. That was funny.
All right, so
No,
you
people do
just to be
call me
clear
that.
then for tomorrow, you disagree with the concept that, or my position, which is men should be able to cry more frequently and men should also be able to express more emotion.
Oh, fucking disagree as hell.
Okay, cool. Let's talk tomorrow then. What
All right, I'll
time?
see you tomorrow, man.